I'm going to be showing you a real life video of what terminal agitation actually looks like. This video is meant for educational purposes only. I will give you a trigger warning before showing the video. These are not my patients, and I do have permission to share these videos. So there's going to be 3 different videos in this video. The first video is a man who shows the classic terminal agitation of kind of kicking around in bed, being restless, being irritated, just not being able to get comfortable. You're going to hear his daughter talking in the background. Again, I have permission to share this. And it's just important for people to see what terminal agitation looks like so they can point it out and be able to treat it as quickly as possible. So trigger warning, here is the video.
Been going on for 3 hours. Moving of the feet. As you can see here, it's a pillowcase that he stuffed in his shorts. And picking at the sheets, which is constant moving of the legs that go over the bars, sometimes up the wall.
So this is a perfect example of what terminal agitation can look like. Terminal agitation is specific to end of life, death and dying, but you also see something like this video with someone who may have Parkinson's or Alzheimer's, dementia, and they may not be dying. They may just be having symptoms of the disease like dementia, Parkinson's, Alzheimer's. In this specific video, things that could be done to help this gentleman would be 1, decrease stimuli in the room. So he looked agitated by sheets or covers, so sometimes you can just take those off and they feel a little better. You can darken the room and make things a little more quiet. Sometimes just destimulating the area can make them feel a little more calm. Now, when that doesn't work, which it very often doesn't, a lot of times they will need some kind of medication to help relax them. This next video could seem disturbing, so I am warning you guys, but I do think it's important to watch this with an educational eye, knowing that learning about these things, seeing what things look like can really help prepare you and decrease your fear. So this next video is of a woman who is clearly a little agitated, kind of throwing herself up in bed. I would definitely determine this as terminal agitation and something that would need to be treated. So trigger warning, here is the video. So in that video, you can see she sits up and the family member comforts her and rubs her on her back. She just needs a second to kind of clear her throat, get her bearings, and it looks like she's able to relax after that. Very, very common. I show you this to show you what is normal. I wouldn't necessarily medicate for that unless she kept doing that over and over and over again. I will say again, these families were so lovely. They shared these videos for educational purposes only to help give more insight and understanding to what end of life can look like sometimes. This last video is a perfect example of someone being terminally agitated where they are vocally telling you or trying to tell you that something may be wrong. Again, this is not to shock you or disturb you. I've talked with the family. This person had a very peaceful death, but they just wanted to show you what it can look like when someone is having terminal agitation. This person also was being very agitated by clothes. So you can see that her clothes are off and there is a cover just covering her skin. Again, not to shock you. This is for educational purposes only. So trigger warning, here is the video. Okay, so you can see and mostly hear how she is agitated. The family said that they took off her clothes because she was picking at them and scrubbing at them, so they just took off the clothes and put a light sheet, and that did really help her. Medication really helped her as well. She became calm and peaceful, but this is a great example of what terminal agitation can look like. I hope that this video can be helpful to you guys to see what terminal agitation and some symptoms at the end of life can really look like. I think it's so important that we really see what death and dying and end of life can be and how hospice can help with that. So these are some things that can happen, but we as hospice providers are well equipped to manage these symptoms through medication, and worst case scenario or best case scenario, however you want to look at it, we can always provide palliative sedation if need be. Thank you so much for sticking with me and watching this video, and let me know if you have any other questions about death and dying.